What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling amazing today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the best, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, you know what, why not Saturn? Wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force us of reading on a situation, and everything will be great, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. And how could it not be? Because the moon's going void of course today, Cancer. So the moon's going to go void of course at about 11:23 in the evening, and that's going to be Central Time. And then she'll be moving from Aquarius into Pisces on the 9th of, tomorrow, the 9th of June at about 5:13 in the morning. So we're looking at about a 5-hour, 50-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And you know that void of course time, great time for doing some meditation, maybe a little late night meditation, Cancer, for those of you who might be burning the midnight oil. Do a little, maybe a little late night meditation, really kind of recharging your batteries, doing some introspective work, just making sure that you're, with all the energies that we can really take on and how much we feel, Cancer, just making sure that you're just checking in with you and really finding yourself again in all those energies. But also, you may notice with the void of course time that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes, and also people are less likely or may be less likely to make decisions during this time. So just something to pay attention to, Cancer. And then you got with the moon being in Aquarius. The moon, Aquarius energy is very, very futuristic energy. It's one of their properties. And so, with us being on the more reflective end of the lunar cycles, if we've noticed something that, if we're feeling good about where whatever we set off on this lunar cycle, if we've been feeling real good about that, it's like maybe we can start thinking about, okay, what's this next? Do we build more on top of this thing, or however that's looking? And if we're not feeling good about this, where we're at, it's just like, okay, what areas do we want to approve, want to assess, and let's do that, Cancer. But also, Aquarius energy is also about humanitarianism and just socializing in the soul tribe. And so this can be a great energy for doing some socializing, maybe going to some social functions, whether that be, I don't know, Cancer, like an art gallery, or maybe we're going to do something in the park, or maybe you're hosting something, Cancer, look at you. Or maybe we could even, Aquarius also deals with like social media and things, science fiction stuff, so maybe we're doing something on the internet, maybe scheduling like a Zoom thing or something, get some friends connected and things like that. So just something to think about with that energy, Cancer. But also, and this is great energy, coupling that with the waning gibbous, because it's pretty much what I was talking about earlier. The waning gibbous is a time of, one, appreciating how regardless, I feel, of whether things have gone how you expected or if things not quite as you expected. The fact that you've taken steps towards growth, appreciate that, Cancer. You've transformed in some kind of way. And if we are more on that end where we're not quite happy with the results, again, reflect on that, assess where you can bring it for this next go round, Cancer, because it's not that, every time, we get into some challenges, absolutely get back up on that chariot again and keep it moving. And then the last couple of things, Cancer. These readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then in case if you all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out. And I've also have links down there for some readers that I personally like watching as well. Yeah, very, very intuitive. I've been watching one just in particular. I've just started watching her, and man, her stuff's on point there, Cancer, so definitely check that out. Interesting, Cancer. Okay, so you have for our general energy of the day. So you got the 4th card of Virgos, which is the handcuffs card. And with this card, this is a card of control, defenselessness, target, handicapped, held back, prey, suppress, need to break free, detained by external forces, applying force, incapacitated, submit, and feeling powerless. And so, Cancer, the first thing that really kind of pops out to me, if we are in a situation, whether this be a relationship, maybe this could be a living situation, maybe this is like a job thing, but if we're feeling held back or suppressed or just been this need of just like things, just you don't like where things are at right now. This is a time to, we're in the waning gibbous phase, how do we move on past this stuff? What can we do to get control or, to feel like we're back in control again? You know what I mean? And because here's the thing, if this is where we're dealing with these situations, especially if we've been feeling this way for a while, it can be a little tough, but I feel that if this is something where, for example, this is a relationship, this could be, we might need to set boundaries, and it might be someone kind of close to us. This could be a family member, friend, whatever. But sometimes, Cancer, you got to put your foot down, and I'm not saying we got to be harsh with them, but it's just like, hey, this is, I need a break, like this is doing too much. And really, Cancer. If you've been, any kind of way, if someone's been, because even that's kind of strange, even too with that prey. If we've even gotten something where there's some weirdness at work, possibly even, I would say with that, this is not like, business advice or anything, Cancer, per se, but it's just like, let's get familiar with our HR guidelines and, maybe get in, see how that might be looking as well. But I'm also getting for some others, because Virgo can deal with health and routines and things. And I just feel like if we've been feeling a little maybe more kind of incapacitated as far as like with the body, and again, it's not medical advice, but it's just like, we've been feeling maybe a little stiff, or maybe we're noticing that certain foods are reacting with us differently or something along those lines, Cancer. It's just like, how can we maybe start weeding out some of that stuff and start feeding in some more, maybe some substitutes for that? I'll tell you one thing, Ice Cream and I, like, at first we were cool, but as I got older, Ice Cream is just like, forget you. Like, we don't, like, not even a little bit. Like, it just, the body just, like, can't process it properly. And it's but then, you get creative, I did that. In that point, I discovered gelato, and we've been friends ever since. So it's just like little things like that, Cancer, just paying attention to. Maybe like, maybe hydrating more, getting up, just moving the body, maybe doing some light yoga. I don't feel like it's anything strenuous, but just making sure that we're just keeping this vessel in some good shape, Cancer. But and just one other thing, Cancer. I don't know, like this energy is interesting because it's like, if we've been kind of keeping ourselves quiet or something like that. Maybe it's been like we've been like maybe bottling up our feelings to try to keep the peace because maybe it's, I don't know if we're afraid to like exacerbate the problem or what that is. Maybe we've got this whole image of how things may go. And it's not to say that those things aren't valid, Cancer, but sometimes I feel that when it comes to speaking up for ourselves and, when we can paint how a situation may go 100 different ways, but, life will throw you a curveball because you never know where that person might be. They may not receive it well. They might receive it better than you thought. But I feel that be careful about that, as far as, especially if it's something where it's you feel like you're keeping your feelings locked up or something like that. But let's get some tarot on this. Okay. All right, Cancer. Nice little abundant pocket here. Let's see what we're going to have. So we got 9 of Pentacles. All right, let's see what's going down. Okay, Cancer. So you have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse here, and then we have the 3 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the 9 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and then the 10 of Pentacles upright here. In Cancer, I really feel like that if we've been putting ourselves second, you know, maybe we've been in something where we've been kind of been keeping something bottled up, or we've just been maybe kind of been forced, or just been dealing with the situation. I don't know if it's like, you know, if this is a job maybe where we may not like the job, you know, the thought of having to look for another one, maybe we may not have that leisure to, or maybe the resources to maybe have that, like, gaps or something along those lines. Or I don't, you know, Cancer, because when you think about the 9 of Pentacles, this is one of Virgo's cards. This is Venus in Virgo, and that's working on getting into your Empress energy, and the Empress be ruling over Libra and Taurus. You know, Libra deals with harmony and balance, Taurus with security, foundation. And if something is not feeling right, Cancer, what actions can we take to get that foundation to feel rock solid again? You know, to feel like we have like good footing. Because the 7 of Cups, this can be, I almost feel like with the 7 of Cups here, I almost feel like we may be kind of like, just, so for some of us, because I don't know if it's just because we don't want to deal with it or whatever this is, but I feel that it's like we're going into, it's like going into like your workspace, for example. You have like a really crappy day, and then you just like you know, drown yourself in like escapism, whether that be alcohol or whatever the vice might be, drugs, sex, whatever, you know. But I feel like Cancer, you know, really, you know, especially with you being a water sign and with how receptive you are, if we start to block those feelings and suppress those things, then it gets into this weird kind of tricky place here. You know, it gets us out of touch with our intuition. You know, things get a little foggy, and it starts draining down on our energy, Cancer, with this 9 of Wands as well. So, you know, because maybe this is something too, because the 9 of Swords can be a really kind of a harsh card when it comes to, you know, this could be maybe someone is, you know, maybe telling us some harsh things, or maybe we might even be telling ourselves some stuff. You know, maybe we feel like we deserve to be in this situation, or we'll never get out of this thing, or but all that's doing, Cancer, is just, it's restricting growth. And it's not to say that like, well, it's restricting growth, Cancer, and it's going to be one of those things we really need to think about. Is this the routine that we want to stay in? Because this is another one of Virgo's cards here. The 10 of Pentacles, this is Mercury in Virgo. And we need to think about, like I was saying, with Virgo energies, deals with our health, you know, our jobs, you know, our day-to-day routines and stuff. And if this is not the foundation, if this is not how we pictured this journey going, how can we change that, Cancer? Because when you start thinking towards that direction and start putting your energy towards focusing on yourself, doing some healing, you know, getting yourself out of this situation here, the more opportunities start opening up for you. You know, the things start changing, you know, with the 7 of Cups. But it's got to be one of those things we have to believe that we can get out of this stuff. And we have to do, because this is Venus in Scorpio, and we need to think about that, what's been hurting us, you know, and like what areas in our lives have been needing some nourishment or something along those lines, Cancer. So yeah, interesting start, Cancer. But yeah, I feel that definitely if you've noticed something where you've been in, or you get in something like this, you know, and been this need to break free, this could even be something too, Cancer. If you've been just, you know, if this is something you've been going through with by yourself, in Cancer, you know, keep in mind, this doesn't have to be anything like super extreme, but just if you've noticed something, just in any kind of areas, maybe we notice it's like, it could be just as simple as a food thing. Maybe we notice that as much as we like spicy foods, it gives us a bunch of, you know, and the acid reflux is real. So it's just, you know, apply it to your situation, but yeah, try not to be in this place of just feeling like you're powerless, because you're not, Cancer. You know, that's just I feel if we've been telling ourselves a lot of negative things, like with the Nine of Swords, you know, this is Gemini energy, Mars and Gemini. Let's try to match that stuff. If we notice a negative thing, match it with the positive so that we can counteract this stuff and get balance and see where we're pouring our energies into and get a different game plan if things haven't been going how we want to, you know, switch this stuff up here. And try to be, you know, while we're going through this, Cancer, you know, if this we get eyes on this thing and we start working towards this stuff. I know this can be kind of hard, but you know, the Nine of Wands, this is the moon in Sagittarius. It may take a cycle or two, but try to keep that optimism, try to keep that hope, because that's we're working on this stuff. You know, once we start focusing on yourself, we get to 10 of Pentacles here, you know, right after the 9 of Pentacles. But before the 9 of Pentacles is the 8 of Pentacles. We got to get in that work. So, all right. Alrighty, Cancer. Let's see what are some challenges. I was going to say that was a challenge in itself. All right, King of Pentacles and the Sus when I'm talking about, Cancer. Hold on. A lot of Virgo energy here. The World, there's Saturn. Saturn's following around you too, Cancer. Let's see what we got here. Oh, and oh, come on, and the Empress. Come on, girl. Let's put them to work. Because here's the thing. Oh, let me be serious, Cancer. Girl, we got to stop that. Listen, Cancer, if you've not been feeling some challenges, confidence, you know, stability, asking yourself this stuff, taking the action, if you've not been feeling at your happiest, you know, if this is not where we saw life taking us, you know, not how you feel stuck in a cycle and we can't say, it's just been like the same old stuff. And if anything, you know, we may be trying to create false sunshine in the Seven of Cups things. If you notice this stuff, Cancer, we got to be careful about that. You know, let's take this Six of Swords energy and try to move on to calmer shores. You know, let's figure out what stuff we can leave behind us so that we can be feeling like an empress, be feeling like secure in ourselves and feeling like that, because yeah, this is something, Cancer, I really feel like it's, you know, working on getting into this state of empowerment again. Because I mean, even with the Sun and Leo being in here, because the Sun rules over Leo, you know, when we start doing these, working towards this sunlight here, and it may be hard, Cancer, at first, there's going to be, depending on how this manifests, you know, there's going to be some challenges getting up into this here. You know, you may notice some pushback at first, but it's going to be worth it in the long run, Cancer. And you're going to get into this sense of balance and of happiness again. Because this is really abundant, but we just got to see where we're stuck at, you know, and what might be holding us back. And remember too, Cancer, because there are going to be some situations, because maybe this is something that may be like out of our hands right now. Maybe we might be caught in like, let's broaden this a little bit. Maybe we might be stuck in like, maybe had like a car breakdown, or maybe we have someone who, and I hope not, Cancer, but maybe we got someone who might have gotten into some kind of trouble with the law possibly, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to get that situation rolled out, or, you know, whatever this is. But we may feel in these situations, Cancer, because this is a great example of what like a square or an opposition in like astrology for like your aspects would be. You know, it's like where it can feel like things are out of control, where we may not be able to control the situation per se. We can control how we feel about it, and when we get eyes on that, get a little more stable in that, kind of get more clear-headed, and get, you know, really figure out, start seeing things from a higher perspective. It changes the game up. You know, it's just like, okay, here's the lessons here. I'm really gonna have to bring it this time. This is gonna require all of me, and you know, but it's going to get you rock solid in the end, because just because this stuff is in reverse here, that doesn't mean it's out of your grasp. It's just we got to work for it. We got to shine some sunlight on this stuff, get some eyes on these things, and figure out what we can do. And this is something too, Cancer, you know, let's say for example, if this like, maybe this is something where we may be struggling to like maybe make some kind of bail, or if we like whatever this is, Cancer, you know, there's strength, I feel like, in community as well. Like I just, something of like is coming through, I feel like, just as well, just like asking for help, you know, if this is just too much, whatever is going down here, okay? Because that's a lot of energy coming through here, Cancer. And it might feel just like things are just really kind of out of whack right now. And I know that that's a weird place for a Cancerian to be, when we don't feel like we have equal footing or something along those lines. I get that, Cancer, but it's staying calm, staying collective, maybe doing some meditation, you know, thinking about have you done everything you can for the situation right now? And then if so, what can we control right now? You know what I mean, Cancer? I hope that's making sense. All right, Cancer. Let's get some advice from Saturn and Uranus. All right, Cancer, see what we got here, Mark. All right, last little bit here, Cancer. So you have the Seven of Swords, you have the Six of Wands upright, and then we have the Lovers in reverse here. And then let's go ahead and switch back over. Because with this energy, Cancer, I feel like some advice. I feel like one, if someone or if you are telling yourself that you can't get out of these situations, that you're all these things, you know, incapacitated or whatever, you do have the power, Cancer. It's going to take some work to get back to feeling in this state of balance, to feel like back in your normal place. But the Six of Wands is a card of victory, and this is Jupiter in Leo, and I feel like with this, it's going to be something that we're going to need to make sure as this stuff is going down. If you've been, you know, being present in this stuff, and if things don't feel right with this, because this, to me, you know, I think we had talked about this, when the Lovers pops out in reverse, this is like higher self, like, hey, this situation ain't working. This is really getting in the way of your path here. You know, it's like this lesson is, you know, this is not how we wanted things to go down. And eventually, where higher self likes to keep things internal, you know, if we ignore these things, it could potentially turn into like the Hanged Man situation, where we got to pause and, you know, we notice some more delays. We got to think from a different perspective, or it could even lead to an external Tower moment, where, you know, where now we're getting some things involved. You know what I mean, Cancer? And that's not to get you scared, but it's just more so to help you just like make that connection, see where the dissonance is, you know, what's maybe sapping our energy, what that might be looking like, Cancer. And I feel that if we can be a little patient with ourselves, because this is a long journey, you know, when we get into challenges like this. But you remember, we're working on this stuff. Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy, and here's the Empress right here. She's letting you know you got it. It's gonna be hard, you know. It's gonna be tough getting to that Empress status, but, you know, feeling that where everything is in balance and in peace and harmony, you know, you've created the sunshine in the world that you've wanted. But just really, Cancer, believe that you can get through this thing, you know, and don't let anyone, including yourself, tell you that you can't do anything otherwise, because your thoughts are powerful, your feelings are powerful, and if we believe that thing, then that's what's going to permeate in our world, Cancer. So all right, Cancer, I think I'm going to leave that there, but kind of an intense one. But I mean, there's abundance here. You know, it's really when we put in that work. It's this situation where I know it may not feel like it right now, depending on the degree, but it's going to shape you in the long run. It's going to be brilliant. But if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And I feel like really in this instance, just get this less about really the spreading of the thing, like that's a bonus, but more so to just let other Cancerians know, just like, hey, you know, like, we all feel this way from time to time. You know, there can be, I mean, it's a part of life, and it sucks sometimes, you know, and and where I'm all about positivity, Cancer. I'll give you optimism till the sun goes down, but in order to find that optimism, sometimes we got to face the ugly first and can call the situation what it is, whatever this is looking like, and then being honest with ourselves. Seven of Swords. But I'm about to get back to your reading and share this, Cancer. You know, if you know someone who might be going through this thing, maybe they're feeling any of this stuff, absolutely share this. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I have these videos each week or each day, and then maybe something to think about, Cancer. I'm on this, been on this meditation app for years, Insight Timer. And I started a group on there, great meditations and things, maybe some guided stuff, maybe help build some confidence and things like that. But I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group that posts like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And definitely as the group grows, definitely want to start doing different meditations and things, scheduling different groups, maybe, self-caring with the Empress, or, shedding light with the Sun, or whatever. That's gaining confidence with the Strength card. But definitely, it's all that's in the description box, Cancer. And then lastly, check your sun, your moon, your rising. You know how I feel about that, Cancer. Check your chart. I got some apps down in the description box for you if you're curious about that. Some apps that I like using. And then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos weekly there with different things we do. I got like weekly, monthlies, and then yearly videos that I post on there. Your yearly one's coming up here, Cancer, so get excited for that. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. All right, so we got the Hierophant in reverse here. And while I'm getting your Oracle card, yeah, it's got some chills, Cancer. If there's something here about making a connection, like really tuning in, if being very present with this, whatever goes down, as these situations, if we're going through something, or not even if, Cancer, when something comes up in the future, because you know how life is, always throwing curveballs, but it makes us stronger. And when we connect more with those situations and really be just aware of what's going down and how it is shaping you into an Empress, because we talk about that Empress rules over Taurus, a lot of rulership going down here, Cancer. A lot of oh, sorry, got a little geeked up there. A lot of coming into, and that's where I feel like it's coming for you, Cancer. It's time to get excited in that sense of like gaining your power back, because gaining rulership over you, you know what I mean? Sun, Leo, Venus, Taurus. Okay, hold on, Cancer. Absolutely. Okay. Because you got the Angel's Trumpet here, which is the Death card. Death card. This is Mars and Scorpio here. Mars and Scorpio. This is Pluto and Mars. this card here. And if things haven't been, if it's been the same old, Cancer, if any of that resonated with you, as far as like feeling trapped in things, Uranus energy. It's all about the future, changing things up. How can we take these restrictions that baby Saturn has been put, because I mean, you've been getting the world for this is what, second day of the world, Cancer? If we've been feeling restricted in some kind of ways, how can we change this stuff? Because I mean, change is happening, Cancer. We're in a time where we got to be real mindful of these energies, and when we might be getting stuck in a cycle, because Pluto's going to work. All these planets are going to work. So, but the nice thing I will say that I like about this card too, is that, like, you know, when we think about the change and stuff, where yes, sometimes it can feel uncomfortable and things, but it's getting you to your highest octave, because when you think about Mars and Pluto, Pluto is the higher octave of Mars. We have to take action towards Mars energy, towards that change, Pluto. And then when we do, guess what we are, Cancer? Empress, full of sunshine, full of confidence. I can keep that going all day, Cancer. I think you get the point there. So I dig it. Strong ending, and you're gonna get through this, Cancer. It's gonna be tough. It might be tough at sometimes, but that's just you're tough. You don't get known as the mother of the zodiac. Mama's tough. So you know that. I might actually call it, well, I'll think about that title, but you stay safe out there, Cancer. You know, with this energy, just and again, I don't feel like that there's anything necessarily like necessarily law related, like per se, like that wasn't even anything really strong, but just something to think about. You know, really just stay safe, be mindful of how we may be trapped or things along those lines, and raise your vibration through the roof. 9 of Pentacles, Empress energy all day. Take care of yourself, Cancer, okay? And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.